What's up, guys? We're gonna build beats, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make melodies without chords. If you guys haven't subbed already or turned post on, make sure you do so because it does help it a lot. Let's hop right into it. So I would recommend a lower BPM to start with, just so it'll be a lot easier to make the melody to slower the BPM. And then you could pull it up later if you want to. So these are the VSTs. I'll go through the individual sounds as we're making everything. But let's just pull in a scale, and we're gonna be using. Let me see. Let's go with a major. Let's just try this. All right, and we can always transpose if we don't like it. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. Okay, so this is gonna be our chord replacer. All right, so we're gonna have a bunch of notes going. So I am in the thirds grid. Okay, 1/3 beat. You could do this in 1/4, but I say 1/3 because of the nature of the melody that we'll make. So we're in a D major. So we want to look for a pattern, and it doesn't matter what scale you're using or whatever. You want to look for this pattern, right? Like two notes right next to each other, right? And you just want to look for this pattern. It could be anywhere. It could be up here. Okay, you could be off the grid. You don't need a scale in the background. It'll still work, right? And you just want to copy this over, okay? Up. You could probably just copy it twice. All right. All right, you can see that could get very annoying real quick. So what I'm gonna do is just fix these. Remember when I say you just bleed the melody, make them kind of bleed on one another. Something like that. Control A, and I believe it's Alt R. Do something like this, pull them down. So now what we want to do is add some frequencies. It doesn't have to be a whole nother melody. It could just be like, we could use B. And how I looked to see what B was, how did I get to B? I looked at this G and made a chord like this. And then I just used the middle note. You could do something like this and just something slightly different. And I'm gonna turn this down an octave. All right, this will give us room for melodies above. All right, so that is our chord replacer. Now let's move on to our second instrument. All right, so here is the instrument for the second one. And this is where we start adding multiple instruments. So remember the video where we took a bunch of VSTs and we tried to fit them all in one to make one big melody? Well, that's where that skill comes in play right here. So same thing. Now, if you're struggling, you're like, okay, I don't know what note to go to. Just remember, it's the same thing with chords. Use them as your reference in your blueprint. Any of these notes will work. You just choose one. I'll probably just start on the E because it's the first note. So just listen and just feel for where I want to put the note. Probably turn this up an octave. All right. Let's copy this pattern. And then maybe land on this A. Okay, I like that. So that's that instrument. So now let's move on to the next one. All right, so here's the third instrument, and that's what it sounds like. I just tuned it so it's a little higher pitched. So one thing to note with so if you're lost and you're like, man, I don't know what notes to use, so you could just make it use the harmony, right? So we have F sharp, so we can land on the F sharp and start with the E, and then we have that range from earlier. Where is it at? So we know B to E is the range, so all these notes will work. All right, so we can instantly, maybe let's go. So we know these will work. So now we're just filling the spaces. And then we can land on that A, because that A we used earlier, I believe, right here. right, so let's move on to the next one. All right, so here's our next sound, and I just shaped this a little bit too. Just so it's different from the first octave guitar preset we use. All right, so we can just start on an E, and then here we could make a little melody like at the end. So maybe we could go up like this. All right, remember these notes work because this is the main pattern. So we know these notes work. And let's make a little melody. I'm gonna make sure you can see what I'm doing. Maybe something like this. Let's copy it, and then we could change this note and let's pull it down one and see how that sounds. Okay, I like that. So let's move on to the next one. All right, so now we got some strings. Now these are easy. All you have to really do is just press one note at a time. So what we could do is you can, like I said, when you're lost, just go straight in harmony with everything that you have. So we have F sharp here, A. We can copy those since we're already here, just to save a little bit of time. All right, and you can look at the range that you have. So we got B. All right, so let's use B to start and see how that sounds. Let's paste these. All right, so it's in harmony, and then use the B and see how that sounds. Simple as that. So those are like little hacks you can do without even using your brain, right? You could just be like, you know what? I don't know what to do. I'm gonna just use my guides already made. All right. So that's the strings. Let's move on to the next one. All right. So here we have the harmonics. Now this is a key thing that a lot of people don't really do. But here's the sound. And I like to thin it out so you can't really hear it that much. I want it to be felt. Now, here's the pattern. It's the same exact pattern every time. All right, and what this is doing is pretty much telling your body when to catch the beat or the rhythm, right? So you know how people count in music, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So that right there is what we're doing with this, right? So we want to put it under the melody, but we kind of want it to be felt, and I'll just play it. And it's just going to amplify the bounce. Now you can't really tell now, but when we add the 808, you'll be able to tell for sure. So that's the harmonics, and let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this will be like a woodwind, a flute, but I'm just using a whistle. So what I like to do is just click down until I hear a note I like. So I like that F sharp. So what we could do is copy it over. And then we're in the thirds grid still. You see, let's just go up and then down. Okay, and then for the last one, what we could do is we could pretty much just choose the middle note. So to me, the middle note would be like the G, right? Or the F, right? But I want it to sound a little different. So what I'm gonna do is okay, and I like that. So I'm gonna keep it. So that's it for that. So let's move on to the bass. All right, so real quick, before starting the bass, I recorded a vocal. All right, now I can't actually show me recording a vocal just because of how I record videos, and it'll mess the recording up. But it's no different than using like an arcade sample or something, right? But I wanna show you the vocal chain because I think that's important. So if you don't have auto-tune EFX, this is the preset I use here. If you don't have this, you can use Pitcher. Right, and you don't have to own Pitcher to use it. You can still use it, right? And you can use a Destructor to get like that distorted effect. And the reason I say Destructor is because it has multiple effects. So my reverb preset, I just turn the wetness up and pull this low cut up to cut out the bass. And then the delay, I always right click time and set to 8 steps and then put it on ping pong. So this is when I'm recording. So it came out with these effects. And then I'll put it on this channel, okay? And then I spread it right here, right? You can see that. And then I use pitch proof, and you don't need this. I think this is actually a free plugin anyway. You know, tune it to the key, turn the pitch up by 12 to give it like a high pitch sound. And make sure you turn to stereo because mono sounds just awful, okay? And then I just leave the dry wetness at like 50%, and then delay, ping pong, right click, and I put it on 4 steps. And I EQ'd it to give like a telephone effect, and this is what it sounds like. Okay, so that's the vocal chain, just in case you wanted to do something like this, all right? Okay, so now we're gonna start on the bass. And with the bass, since we don't have chords, you could just use the root, but we didn't start on the root here, so it may be a little different. So what I would like to do is I usually start on the first note, and then whatever is the highest note, I try that first. So I'm gonna copy that, and let's go to the 808, paste it, and we could probably just maybe pull that up. And then we could just make a little pattern. Let's go to 1/4. Then put something at the end. And then here's that thing with the harmonics. I'll play with it off and then on. Right, and then we play this, you can see it gives a little bit more bounce, especially right here. You can really feel it right here. All right, so that's the bass. Let's move on to just the drums and everything. And I might just, I don't know, I might fast forward through some of the drums. Okay, so the only thing I really want to show with the drums is this little kick thing. The rest, I don't know, I might just pull some presets out because this is a melody tutorial. And I don't want this video to be super long. So I'm gonna right click here, copy, paste. And what you can do is Control A and then Alt K. Pressing Alt K, this will pop up, accept. So what you could do is take this half and put it over here. So I'm gonna just take this and switch them. And it's just an easy way to create some like a dynamic between your 808 and kick. So it's not hitting at the exact same time every single time. But that's if you want to do that. If you don't, if you like it hitting every time, then that's fine. Right, I like that. I like how that sounds. Well, right, I like that. So that's just a little tip you could do with the kick. So the rest, I'm gonna just kind of just maybe bring in one of these. And I'm gonna just make it quick. All right, I like that. So I'm gonna play the whole thing now. Here's the whole beat. You can see how that the harmonics is giving it a little bit more bounce. But that's it for this video. Hopefully this was helpful. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.